Today we're going to wrap up our study of surface area by talking about pyramids. And I have two examples here already built. This is a triangular pyramid. It has a triangle for a base and then comes up to a single point. All three of these faces are triangles. This is a square pyramid. It has a square base. It comes up to a single point, and all four of these faces are triangles. Now, because of what the type of shape that this is, because this is an equilateral triangle, which means all three sides are the same, all three of these triangles are the same. That's particular and unique to this pyramid. Not all pyramids will be like that. You could have an isosceles, which means then two of these would be equal and this triangle would be different. You could have a scalene where all three would be different, and then you've got a lot of calculating to do. In this case, because the square has equal sides, these four triangles are also the same. Okay, again, you could have a rectangular pyramid where you'd have two triangles that are the same and two triangles that are the same. You could have some other shape on the bottom that's still a quadrilateral, giving you four triangles, but it would give you a different size triangle because the sides of those are different. Now, when we talk about surface area, let's go back and compare it to our prisms that we talked about earlier in the week. Remember, prisms have the same face, top and bottom. They're congruent. So this one has two triangles, and in between they're all rectangles. This one has two rectangles, top and bottom, and in between they're all rectangles. Luckily, we had a formula for this one. Maybe not so luckily, we didn't have a formula for this and we had to build it. It's going to be the same thing for the triangles. Now, or the pyramids. There are some that we can duplicate. Remember, we could duplicate these triangles because they were congruent. Knowing that these four triangles are congruent, we only have to have one, and then we can multiply. Knowing that these three are congruent, we only have to have one, and then we can multiply. Sometimes there's shortcuts, but often you're going to have to find each individual piece. Okay, let me get the prisms out of the way. Let's look at the nets of these pyramids. So the triangular pyramid, hold it like this, has a triangular base, and then it has three triangles that come up to a point. Now, the height of the pyramid, next year in 7th grade when you learn how to do volume, the height of the pyramid is from this very tippy top point here, straight down, if I was to drop a string, straight down through the center. There's something else called the slant height. If you look, this side is a little bit slanted. It's not perpendicular to the ground. If I was to measure from this point down to the base down here, that's what's called the slant height, because it's the height of the triangle and the side is slanted. Pretty nifty name, slant height. So slant height, if you ever see a formula or you ever see calculations or anything, a lot of times they'll talk about the slant height. It's usually longer than the height of the pyramid, okay, because this is a longer distance. It's leaned over a little bit, so it takes more to get to the ground. All right, let's look at our square pyramid. It has a square in the center, and then it has those four triangles that will fold up, again, to a single point. Okay, so when we go to find the area, you would find length times width or side times side since it's a square, and then 1/2 times base times height. But it's not the height of the pyramid, it's the slant height. So there is no assignment for you to do today. I really just wanted you to look at some of the differences in the structure of prisms versus pyramids, and then in how to actually go about finding these if you needed to find the surface area. You needed to wrap some kind of pyramid or a triangle or something like that, right? If you would like a +1 on your vocab quiz today, you need to email me with the phrase of "It's Friday" with as many I's and A's and Y's as you want in there. Once you finish watching this video and you've emailed me the phrase "It's Friday," you then need to go take your vocab quiz and have an amazing weekend.